In today's video, I want to take a different approach when it comes to mindset of building things for the agency using AI. Following our frameworks of solving problems, removing frictions, improving the customer experience and employee experience. Following our triangle of human at the top, automation, and AI on the bottom. Everything circling back to the human. And in taking that different approach, I want to tell you about something I recently built with AI. Is it agency related? No, but I think you can take this story and apply it to your agency in a different way. I was recently diagnosed with stage 4 kidney failure, and I'm headed towards end kidney failure probably fairly soon, as rapidly as my kidney function is dropping. In doing that, though, I needed to come up with something that could help me follow things every day. It could help guide me through my diet, my medications, the activities that I do. Now, stay with me as I go down this road, because now I want you to take that and think about this. Okay, how could I use this story and I could guide it down? What are my employees doing every day? How am I giving them feedback on what they're doing every day? How could that predict the outcomes of certain activities every day? So as I was doing this, what I did is I built the agentic AI agent that helped me. It had access to my blood work as it was being updated. It had access to my Dexcom that I wear on my stomach that tells my doctors my blood sugar levels consistently. It had access to the information on my health watch that gives information like potential blood pressure, heart rate, different things like that. Then it also understood kind of what I was eating every day as I was tracking things, because I had to be on a low protein diet. But historically, I had been on a low carb diet many times through the last 20 years. Now it's a completely different mindset. But in bringing all these things together, I want you to go back to what we've taught before, and that is, how do I treat each one of the Ella models as a board member? They are board members coming to me as the board director. So in building this app that I use every day now, how do I use all these different data sources to come back to me to help me make better decisions to preserve my kidneys, to manage my diet effectively, to help manage my medications when I'm meeting with my medical team so that we can all be on the same page? How could this potentially give me more power as a patient? Now think, potentially, how could something like this, if we spin it for the agency, give the employee more power, give the customer more power through their buying process? So as I was going through this, I was building this app, I used Claude and NeoClaw to help build it, to give it access to certain things. I didn't want to give access to my whole computer. I didn't want to have access to all my medical records. I really just wanted to have access to trends, blood work coming in, things that I was eating, my body movement, which is where the smartphone came in, a watch came into play to help track that. So in tracking all these things, what it was able to do is able to help me understand, what foods I should be eating at my next meal, which foods I shouldn't be eating. So think about this now. All right, what activities should we be doing in the agency? What activities should we not be doing based on this? Think of it almost like constant coaching that this app was helping me. Now, how could something like this help you in the agency of doing constant coaching with your team members? Think of it like an insurance assistant that's guiding your CSR, that's guiding your account manager, maybe even your producer. I want you to think about it as I go through this. And so one of the reasons I went through this is my job was to try to preserve my kidneys as much as possible. So in the agency, what are we trying to do? We're trying to build the best customer experience possible while improving employee experience, while supporting our people. So how are we doing all of that? How are these frameworks being applied to how we're using AI every day? Are they being applied to how we're using AI every day? Probably not. So this is how I want you to think about, as I went through this experience and I'm documenting everything and I'm putting everything to an app that helps monitor, that my wife can also have access to it, where if I'm not around, she can still see where I'm at with Life 360. She can see where my numbers are at. So she really doesn't have to worry about me as much there. And as I was going through this, one of the things that came back to my mind is, okay, how do we apply this as insurance agency owners? What could we apply this to? Could we apply this to pretty much every role? We absolutely could. If we think about things we didn't do right through the sales process, or maybe things that went wrong through the claims process, how could it help us improve next time? Because look, whether it's my health whether it's the agency, we want to be improving these things every day. And in doing that, when we can get the feedback to go through these things, this is where we're going to see significant improvements. So as I went through and I built this app and it's been helping me the next couple of weeks, I'll be sitting down with my medical team, sharing the results with them, and really putting everything into a spreadsheet on what questions to ask. Now imagine this, that you could have access to this assistant that your team's using or should be using every day, and even asking it, okay, where are the gaps? What questions should I be asking as we go through and we look for feedback on improvements and things like this? That's how you could be using it. And this is exactly how you could be using AI. Probably in almost no other insurance agency is using it. And here's how you could get the most out of it while still supporting your people, creating the best customer experience and creating the best employee experience. So that's what I wanted to jump on here today was talk about. As I go through this scary health situation and trying to figure all these things out, how can I still go back and apply this to the agency? I'm Chris with Niche Your Business. I want to say thank you for watching today's video on using AI the right way in the agency.